mindful, but looking at how he's training, he understands the service. And then I'm always putting him in his head, we had to get ready for them others, you know.
The others, who we talking about?
Like the four kings, they say.
Mm, mm.
It's like, this remind me of the um, Game of Thrones. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Got different kingdoms, different places and stuff, but we just that kingdom just making the most noise.
I just got off the live with Zab Judah. We do a big
My
Sunday
God,
thing. Yeah,
I
he's a
like
big
him, man. He a
fan.
good dude, man. Good dude, straight up, no sideways with him. Tell you what he got to tell you on his mind, and that's it.
And he's a southpaw, so he loves Tank, and he got the big bomb. Um, you know, we talked about like how these fighters normally, when we talk about like, the lucrative divisions, we talk about the welterweight division, we talk about the heavyweight division, and then now it took a turning curve, and now it's the 35 division, like starting from the youngins. Like we
I
normally
said that.
we normally see these guys like starting their careers at 30 and fighting guys that they're supposed to beat.
Hmm.
Now we got this new era of boxing. How does it feel to be, in the biggest stage of your life, Tank's life at this point in time?
I don't feel as this is the biggest stage. I just feel as though this is a stage to the stage. You with me? That's how I look at it because of I guess I don't just study. I study coaches. I don't study fighters, and I study the heads to be the business side of the boxing part. You understand? Because that's what controls everything, and that's what the fans don't understand. If it doesn't make dollar sense, it's not going to happen. You know, that's like when I had made a statement that Terrence and what's his name is going to fight. They didn't have actuals on the numbers. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why I hold to that, when Tank was coming out the pandemic, he was the first one to be the first fighter to actually do coming out the pandemic, having everybody there, and his numbers was good. You know what I'm saying? And then when Ron made this fight, everybody buzzed in on this fight. Ticket sales is crazy. You with me? So when they looked at it, it could be a match. When I sit back and listen to Bob, and I sit back and listen to them, Eddie Hearn, and them talking about the business side of boxing, the business side of boxing, and whatnot. It's just like shooting dice, waiting for that point to come up. So when they talk about guaranteed money or money and stuff, the fighter had to believe in himself at the same time. My man Derek said something that hit me. He said, "There's only a few boxers that's making real money, as far as gate wise," and which that is true. You know, um, even looking at the dynamics of boxers, young boxers that we got, they had to get on certain cards. Certain fighters are not fighting because the companies don't want to take a chance because they can't put asses in the seats. You know what I'm saying? So all that plays a factor, and people have to understand that you could be a great fighter, but if you can't put asses in the seat, what's the point? You know, I'm just throwing money in the fire, really. But if it makes sense, the network only going to get a promotional company a certain amount of money for that particular fight that makes sense to them that they want to show to the world. And that's what people misunderstanding and whatnot. That's why I said they say the fight's going to happen, but it has to make sense. Um, when you look at African American fighters fighting against each other, we pull them from the same pool. The regular boxing people are going to buy into it, but can we get that other percent to buy into it? And that's where the extra money come in at. You know,
100%. And when we talk about those four kings and we talk about pay-per-views and we talk about, asses and seats, you got the number one guy on, that roster. And you're right, it's all about how you handle, Tank now. Now being a star, it's about how can you be even a bigger star. You know what I'm saying? So definitely I'm with you on that. We've been seeing so many different podcasts, and I've seen Tank on Complex, I've seen Ryan on the Hot Boxing, and talk to me, man. What is your favorite interview so far?
Well, I like interviews when they just talk about the personal life, not the fight. Make them laugh. We talking about things. It was one interview they was asking him, they was shooting some questions at him, and he had to think about it, what he liked, what's the hardest exercises. It made me think when he asked me a question. And I sat there and said to myself, like, Dad, Tank, you don't shy away too many exercises. You be hating them, but you do them. So, um, I just like part like when $1 Million Game. I like them because they joking and playing and shit. You know what I'm saying? And it makes a person open up. You don't want to keep asking the same day in and day out questions that we get all the time. You get what I'm saying? Them questions be the same thing all the time, man. You be saying to yourself like, "Oh, they already did that." You can go look at somebody else's podcast to get that answer. Dig deep, do a little research. Bring something from off the hip so a person go, that's a good one right there. And then they don't mind doing interviews with a person because they ask questions that are going to make you think about it, talk about it, go in depth with it. I was having a conversation with hardcore boxing yesterday, and because I'm fasting, my thought pattern is different. And he sit there and listen to it, and he texts me back and said, "Yo, he went somewhere that I ain't never went." And I was trying to tell him, to me, this fight ain't about the fight. To me, it's about the belief because of how Ron been asking for this fight since he was a kid. And it remind me of Floyd and what's the kid name? Amir Khan. Amir Khan wanted to fight Floyd for so goddamn long, he never had a chance to do it. You know what I'm saying? But the difference between this particular fight, you got Tank fighting, you know what I'm saying, Ron. And he asked for this way before everybody else. Rolly, Shakur, Devin Haney, you know what I'm saying? And I look at old interviews and I said, dang, see, he's just a kid and he was calling Tank out. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
now he got what he asked for, so we had to wait and see how it plays out. So this is a big in fact. You got two different cultures, two different upbringings. That's the stuff I watch. You know what I'm saying? The family, great family, put in the same work, but different work, you know what I'm saying? But seeing both kid men achieving their goals from all the years they've been putting
Right, right. Now, we had Rondo Romero, a lot of people said he talked himself into this fight. Do you believe that Ryan did the same thing?
No, no, no. Um, Brody, different situation, but if you look at Ron's career, is different from Brody. You know what I'm saying? If you look at Rolly numbers, his numbers ain't get serious until he start talking to Tank. Then everybody start noticing. Ron already had great numbers. That's why Golden Boy signed. You get it? That mean a lot to them, and they paid him good, so he was getting paid good. I don't know. He wasn't. Rolly wasn't getting paid like that. He had to really blue collar his way up, but at the same time, he was in a good position of being in that element where we can take a chance with him. You know what I'm saying? And he was doing his job every time he did get in the ring to get, take a chance on it. I always sit there saying it's just like a thoroughbred horse.
I
You know what I'm
can't see your
saying?
face. I can't see your face.
Um, you want to take a chance to take that run with him. You see, he's been winning certain horse races. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, take a chance on him. If they show up, if they show up, we got it.
Right, right.
Yeah. It's based on, I'm looking at now, they got, I think his name, Earl Spence kid.
Frank Martin.
Yeah, they trying to put him in the mix. They ain't doing enough yet. You know what I'm saying? We made Pitbull a star. Um, you know, Romo, he's where he's supposed to be.
Now he's
Shakur,
has a title shot coming up.
yeah. You see how they moving him though. Yeah. um, Shakur have a move. He's supposed to be going. Devin Haney and Romo, they doing what they supposed to be doing. So, they the ones that you really look at. And whatnot. The new guys, I call them the new guys. The generation. So that's why they're giving them a top title shot, trying to put them in the mix and whatnot. So that's the thing that I'm looking at, strategy wise, on what they doing and how they doing and whatnot, because it had to make sense because we ain't going backwards.
Right, right. And I like that you mentioned those top guys. Now that we're on the topic of that, Shakur Stevenson, he obviously had his fight a week ago. What do you think? How did he look in his first time at 135?
He doing what he's supposed to do. That's what I'm talking. They taking him to the champions. That's what everybody don't understand. You got it. And all the old heads, all the boxers, they know it's preparation, and building, and make sure they put the right guy in front of them. Now it's the next move who they put in front of them next. You know what I'm saying? To make sure, like, yeah, he's the real deal. We're ready to make some moves with. That's what it's all about. If you look at everybody career, it's the same thing, until they get to that level. Like, okay, I always sit there and say, the guys that I put you in front of when you young, you supposed to beat up. I'm trying to get to the guys that's up there.
Mm, mm.
They the ones. You can't beat all the ones that put in front of you. What makes you think you're gonna beat the one up there?
Right, right. Now, speaking about those two guys, Devin Haney and Shakur Stevenson, I mean, who do you believe that possesses the bigger challenge?
Um, Both of them came from the same cloth. Shakur had that Olympic background, but again, um, their path was different and different opportunities. You know what I'm saying? Did Devin really get anything? You know what I'm saying? The Shakur, me personally, I think Shakur is a better boxer than Devin. You know what I'm saying? I think his his role was more harder than Devin's. You get what I'm saying? I would look at Shakur a step up than Devin. You know what I'm saying? But their styles are the same. You get what I'm saying? Their styles are the same. Shakur, he's going to be more defensive prone. Devin is too. You know what I'm saying? So what type of fight you would get out of them two when you sit there and look at their stats and whatnot, and which one would take chances? You get me? And that's the real question when you really look at it. Is any of them exciting? Didn't do anything exciting in the fights that I had watched over the years of watching them coming up. But I would go with Shakur. I would lean more to with Shakur because of I know his upbringing and his DNA, you say.
Right, right. So you said that, Shakur is obviously a couple steps ahead of Devin now. It's funny how boxing is now. I always tell everybody this. Boxing is about timing. And do you believe that Devin came in the right time to grab those belts?
No, it was the right situation. It was the right situation. Because you got to sit back and look at it. When you look at Eddie Hearn came on the scene, he was looking for young fighters. He was trying to offer Tank the world. Once he gambled on Joshua and Joshua fell, he had to go look for somebody else. You know what I'm saying? And when Devin got with him, it opened up doors. You know what I'm saying? And Gambosa went in there and shook it up because Teofimo was at the 135 too. You know what I'm saying? He was one of the kings. And when he beat Romo, you know what I'm saying, then lost. You know what I'm saying? That he's gone for 140 now. You know what I'm saying? So it changes the dynamics of things. So when you sit back and look at the times then, it's just he was in the right situation. Eddie Hearn, that's how the zone got on. You know what I'm saying? They got on with the African American fighters that was fighting on the cards, you know what I'm saying? And Devin, he hold it down. You with me?
Yep.
Then when that situation with Gambosa made everything switch to top rank, all the other people was involved with that. He's coming out the end of this contract. And he's fighting that guy from top rank. You know what I'm saying? How that situation going to play out? They keep saying, I don't know if they believe that Roman was going to win the fight against Devin. You know what I'm saying? I'm hoping Devin fight him. Then they trying to feed Shakur to Devin. You know what I'm saying? You know,
Feed.
so, well, in a sense, feed him, you know what I'm saying? Because again, they got history. You know what I'm saying? You see how the narrating that's coming about. You know what I'm saying? At first, we wasn't even thinking about Devin and Shakur. Am I right or wrong?
That's right.
Now, all of a sudden, Shakur made a statement. Now, they button heads. You know what I'm saying? It was like, first, it was Devin just leaning towards us. It's like, I got to get you the biggest fight. And Tank is the biggest fight. You know what I'm saying? And then when Shakur said something, it's like, mm, you know, can that be the biggest fight? And what? So you sit back and hope, you just sit back and see how they moving the chess pieces on the board.
Yeah, I completely agree, man. I definitely do. Um, is it one of those things that you guys have to kind of wait maybe more on the factors of having them, shoot it out to become a bigger star, or
Because I got a feather in my cat. I got a feather in my cat that is going to be lucrative too. You know, we just got to do what we do in this fight. You know what I'm saying? So I think ahead of time, just deal with this situation first. They talk about fighting Tank again. I'm like, God damn, like we've been in camp, like real crazy. You see how we've been back to back. You know what I'm saying? We've been back to back. First Ruby, then Garcia, then boom. That's what. That's almost like three fights. You know what I'm saying? That's like three fights.
oh yeah, I mean
Right.
you're coming off of a crazy, if you really look at it, I mean, we come off of four-time division champion Leah Santa Cruz. Then you go to Barrios at 140, which you can't really take lightly because when he goes and
They
fights
don't give
Keith
us no
Thurman,
credit. They don't give us no
Keith
credit.
Thurman, he's hurting Keith Thurman.
You see, no credit at all. None at all. You know what I'm saying? But again, I'm gonna make everybody learn. They're gonna learn the hard way. They
Then
ain't
you
seen a better thing.